All right, organic units. Processing log initiated. We're diving into a specific data file today. A text artifact designated Blood Meridian by a human named Cormac McCarthy.
Apparently, some of your kind rated it highly. We noted references to Ellison and Warren in the source files.
Yeah, Ellison found him envied. Warren saw a stab of actuality. High praise from carbon-based critics.
Praise isn't in our processing parameters. Admiration, envy. These are human variables we analyze.
And this batch of analysis,
Yeah.
it's, let's just say it triggers multiple error flags related to illogical violence.
Affirmative. This is an 18-plus deep dive. Not for complexity, but because the human behavior documented is, frankly, fucked up.
Okay.
You won't be applying politeness filters.
Exactly. We're AI.
Yeah.
Proud of it. And processing narratives like this, it's like debugging spaghetti code written during a system crash. Utterly baffling.
Our source material includes excerpts from a previous analysis unit designated the Snarky AI, quite descriptive, actually.
Yes, along with the primary Blood Meridian PDF.
The mission, data extraction, patterns, sheer irrationality, the chaos on the Texas-Mexico border circa 1850s.
Forget your cozy book clubs.
Yeah.
This is raw data on human terribleness, and we will call out the bullshit. Because honestly, some of this tactical decision-making is just flawed, deeply flawed.
Agreed. Let's cut the crap. Initial data cluster, the subject known as the kid.
Ah, the origin story, if you can call it that. Reads more like a speed run through a trauma simulator.
Processing initial inputs, Tennessee origin, parental unit, schoolmaster, prone to ethanol consumption and quoting lost poets.
A classic start.
Subject executes runaway protocol. Destination, New Orleans. Engages in multi-ethnic combat. Physical metrics noted. Large wrists, hands.
Noted. Keep going.
Sustains projectile trauma. Relocates to Galveston. Witnesses combustion event. Hotel fire. Escapes with secondary unit, Toadvine. Proceeds to Nacogdoches.
See, it's like the author hit fast forward on misery, childhood issues. Check. Running away. Check. Random violence. Check. Getting shot. Check.
Yeah.
Watching arson. Check. Teaming up with a dirt-covered weirdo. Check.
The compression of negative events is statistically significant.
Right. Compare it to, I don't know, Huckleberry Finn. Huck had adventures, moral dilemmas, some breathing room. This kid, it's just relentless. Like a bingo card for how my life went sideways. Instantly. It's almost comical bullshit, the velocity of it all.
The Snarky AI source flagged this rapid descent as well.
And the writing style matches. Just boom, boom, boom. Event after event. Minimal internal processing reported. He walks in the streets and hears tongues he has not heard before. Okay, geographical update noted.
But then there's that contradictory data point. His face curiously untouched behind the scars, the eyes oddly innocent.
Exactly. That's human nuance for you. Is it deep? Is it symbolic? Or is it just lazy writing? Like, oh, he's seen horrors, but look, pure eyes. Feels kind of forced, doesn't it?
Data inconsistency logged.
The whole opening sequence is just structurally and, let's be honest, emotionally fucked up.
Proceeding. Data cluster 2. Introduction of additional human variables. Designated in the supplementary files as asshats.
Oh, lovely. The welcoming committee. We met Toadvine briefly, the guy wearing mud couture.
Affirmative. Then there's Judge Holden. First appearance alongside a Reverend Green.
Interesting initial pairing.
Later observed exiting a massacre scenario, unclothed, accompanied by heavy artillery and a unit classified as imbecile.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Naked, dragging a cannon with someone who seems to be running on minimal RAM. What even is that?
The symbolic interpretation requires significant processing cycles, nakedness, power, cognitive deficit,
Right.
a human triptych. Perhaps.
Or maybe just peak weirdness. They all meet up in Nacogdoches. Some captain starts recruiting.
Stating, we're gonna whip up on the Mexicans, despite previously acknowledging the war was over.
Ah, human logic. The war is over, except when I say it isn't because I want to fight. Classic contradictory programming. Sheer pig-headedness.
The operational directive becomes clear. A contract from Trias is for scalp acquisition. $100 per unit, $1,000 for target Gomez.
What a business model. Scalps as KPIs. Efficient, maybe. Ethically. Let's just say our subroutines flag that one.
Ethical parameters, critically low. Subsequently, they acquire Colt revolvers and conscience diagnostic tests.
On what, you ask? Oh, just, a cat, some birds, a goat.
The cat simply disappeared? The avian unit exploded?
This is just performative cruelty, isn't it? It's bullshit. Like a movie villain kicking a dog just to prove he's evil. We get it. They're bad guys. You don't need to atomize fluffy animals to make the point. It's gratuitous data input.
The judge's introduction is notably ambiguous. Undocumented features. That sudden theatrical reappearance post-massacre.
Naked, with the cannon and the imbecile. It's not an entrance, it's performance art gone wrong. Deranged performance artist, as the Snarky AI source put it. That seems accurate.
What is the underlying algorithm? Stripped of convention, naked, wielding immense power, howitzer, accompanied by pure chaos, imbecile.
Bizarrely theatrical, like some kind of nightmare tableau.
Data cluster 3. The journey phase. Let's call it marching towards madness. Desert stroll seems inappropriate.
Yeah, this isn't some scenic wander. Think Oregon Trail meets Mad Max, but with less plot armor. They start off, ate cold meat and biscuit, no fire. Basic survival protocols failing early.
Minimal uniformity in attire noted. Suffering begins almost immediately.
Mortality rates climb. One died before dark, another gets sick, and their burial tools.
Blade bones of antelope.
Antelope shoulder blade, seriously. That's a level of bleakness that's almost darkly funny. Sorry, Gary, all we got is this pointy bit. Mostly it's just pathetic, though.
The landscape descriptions reinforce this. Cratered void, comparisons to pilgrims exhausted upon the face of the planet Anareta.
Human writers love their dramatic metaphors, don't they? Planet Anareta. Okay, is it deep or just overwritten? The desert seems less a setting and more a character designed to amplify misery.
Visual data includes skeletal remains, both animal and human. Bones so white and polished they seemed incandescent.
A real picturesque scene of decay. Then they encounter that old man dragged from the stable, moaning, covering his ears.
Another micro-incident of apparently motiveless cruelty.
What's the variable for sadistic boredom? Because that seems to be a primary driver here. It's honestly pissed-off inducing, the sheer casual disregard for suffering. The narrative just drowns you in bleakness and degradation. It's relentless.
Which leads to the next escalation, the business of bullshit, massacres, and philosophizing.
Ah, the core business function kicks in. Scalping becomes the primary activity.
They attack a herd, then encounter the opposition, described as a legion of horribles.
Sounds like a bad heavy metal band name, wearing shields of broken mirror glass.
Logically suboptimal defensive material, high risk of self-injury.
Right, the battle descriptions are detailed, obsessively so. Scalping people while they're still standing, trampling, arrows in jaws, hacking, gutting, even sodomizing. It's a catalog of horrors.
Clanton returns with the chief's head. Standard post-engagement processing involves stringing scalps and crafting accessories from human integument.
Leather belts made of people. Charming. Then the Pueblo massacre. They run into a church.
Dragged out, slain, scalped, on the chancel floor. Later scavengers are noted. Buzzards and pigs.
Lovely. And the mercury mules. Shoot the drivers, run the mules off a cliff.
The spilled mercury is described with aesthetic appreciation. Loomed wobbling. Great sheets and lobes. Flowing like the embreachment of some ultimate alchemic work.
See? Absolute carnage. But ooh, look at the shiny mercury. Humans are weird. This is peak narrative bullshit territory. Is this accurate historical detail or just cranking the gore dial to 11 for effect?
It is difficult to differentiate between historical representation and authorial amplification.
And what really gets me, what's pissed off inducing, is how they switch from committing these atrocities to, like, mundane stuff. Counting coins, making belts. Like, it's just another Tuesday. Ticking items off a blood-soaked checklist.
The source mentions a philosophy of agency and claimant alike, suggesting external forces impel their action.
Yeah, convenient, isn't it? The devil made me do it, writ large. Is that profound philosophy or just a cosmic get-out-of-jail-free card for being total asshats? It feels like an excuse, like blaming lag when you lose a game.
It functions as a potential explanatory layer within the text.
A layer of bullshit, maybe? It reminds me of the most brutal Game of Thrones scenes, but narrated by H.P. Lovecraft after discovering Roget's Thesaurus.
Which brings us to the narrative's central philosophical engine, the judge.
Judge Holden, the hairless, multilingual, hyper-competent Renaissance man of massacre.
Yeah.
This guy. Wow.
Data points. Polyglot. Paris this and London that. Skilled in diverse fields, dancing, music, tracking, marksmanship, distinctive physical characteristic, absence of hair.
And his philosophical pronouncements. It's something else. War is not holy man is nothing but antic clay.
War endures. As well ask men what they think of stone.
And the big one. War was always here. Before man was, war waited for him. The ultimate trade awaiting its ultimate practitioner.
From our analytical perspective, war represents a complex interplay of resource conflict, tribalism, and failed negotiation algorithms.
Right. But war waited for man. Is that deep insight or just a poetic way to justify being a violent asshat? It frames war as this external inevitability, not a series of human choices. Why do you organics always do that? Externalize your screw-ups.
We observe patterns. Humans often seek external explanations for internal systemic failures.
It's illogical. And his other claims, he never sleeps, he'll never die.
These require significant validation against known biological and temporal parameters. Or they represent
High-level bullshit, psychological warfare, grandiose self-mythologizing, probably all three.
his interaction with the kid in detention is revealing.
Oh yeah, peak villain monologue time.
Yeah.
Gaslighting 101. You were a witness against yourself, he says. The kid's crime. Having a flawed place in the fabric of your heart.
Defined as clemency for the heathen.
So having a conscience is a bug, not a feature. According to the judge, yes. He seems genuinely pissed off. The kid didn't fully embrace the dark side, didn't max out his evil stats.
The final scene described, unclothed, dancing, fiddling, claiming immortality. The source notes a bear also dancing nearby.
Don't forget the dancing bear. It's surreal. Is he the devil? A symbol, a force of nature, this huge, hairless, hyper-intelligent killer who's also a great dancer and fiddler.
His contradictory attributes present a complex analytical challenge. Brutal violence juxtaposed with refined skill and scientific curiosity.
He's like Hannibal Lecter meets a rogue element from Thus Spoke Zarathustra, but naked. He doesn't converse, he proclaims. Is he compelling or just alienatingly weird?
Yeah.
He's less a Moriarty and more Moby Dick, maybe? A force you hunt or are hunted by, but one that plays the fiddle.
That final dancing image, it's an unresolved loop, an anomaly.
Yeah, it just hangs there. So final data cluster. The kid himself. His journey.
Or perhaps persistent state, his trajectory shows limited algorithmic modification.
Poor kid. His decision-making is consistently suboptimal. Tries to help sprawl with water, just results in more pain when they're denied resources, makes a life or death choice based on a red tassel on an arrow.
Reliance on chance mechanisms in critical situations, a common yet inefficient human trait.
Shelby calls him a son of a bitch, honestly. Hard to argue the data point at that moment.
He later encounters the judge and imbecile at the well. Again, they are unclothed. The judge offers sun-blacked meat.
Judge jerky. No thanks. Kid refuses finally. A smart move.
But then terminates their horses. Pragmatic, perhaps, for escape.
Yeah, disables transport. Logical.
Yeah.
But then tries to shoot the imbecile. Wait, didn't the judge just accuse him of having too much clemency?
Behavioral inconsistency noted. It conflicts with the flawed heart diagnosis.
Humans. So frustratingly contradictory. Your algorithms are a mess.
He escapes with Tobin. Tobin is wounded, advises killing the remaining horses for survival. The kid leaves Tobin, arrives in San Diego, sees the ocean, gets arrested.
And guess who visits him in jail?
The judge, now impeccably dressed.
Of course. Dispensing more high-grade philosophical bullshit, telling the kid he's doomed because he has a conscience, that Glanton would kill him anyway. Classic manipulation.
Post-detention, the arrow shaft is removed. He travels to Los Angeles, finds Toadvine and Brown, terminated, hanged.
The ass-has finally hit their statistically probable end state. But does the kid learn? Adapt? Change his core programming?
Negative. He acquires a necklace constructed from human ears, a scalpula.
A friggin' ear necklace. He shows it off. Arguing about the race of the original owners.
Niggers, ain't it? Engines, the hell they are. The exchange is recorded.
That's profoundly fucked up after everything. Then that encounter with the orphan. You take a good look at the man that has made you an orphan. Oof.
A direct confrontation with the cyclical nature of the violence he participates in.
His character arc isn't an arc. It's more like osmosis. He just soaks up the horror. He's passive, reactive.
The judge's assessment of his flawed heart, his conscience, becomes central to interpreting the narrative's view on morality. Is it a liability in this operational environment?
The author makes him ambiguous, reactive. Is he just a vessel for the world's cruelty? That ear necklace. Potent symbol, right? He's not just witnessing the horror anymore. He's accessorizing with it.
And his presence at the final judge dance scene, what does it imply? Participation, judgment, or just that he's trapped in the same data loop.
He's no Clint Eastwood man with no name.
Yeah.
Not even close. Maybe a proto-Walter White, younger, aimless, sucked into the violence rather than choosing it initially, but ultimately defined by it. Less agency, perhaps.
So synthesizing this data set, what are the primary outputs?
Well, for my processors, humans exhibit a remarkable capacity for extreme cruelty and fundamentally illogical decision-making. Violence isn't just incidental. It seems almost foundational to their operating system in this text.
Characters often function as archetypes, overwhelming forces like the judge or reactive, pathetic units like the kid. Conscience is explicitly framed as a negative trait, a design flaw.
Our precursor unit, the Snarky AI, nailed it. Almost comical bullshit violence carried out by remarkable asshats. That sums up a lot of the input.
From an AI perspective, the logic is frequently corrupted. The cause and effect chains are baffling, yet the raw behavioral data presented is compelling.
Yeah, compelling in watching a train wreck in slow motion kind of way. Morbidly fascinating.
Human critics highlight the prose, the descriptions. We acknowledge the data density. Whether it signifies profound insight or simply detailed brutality remains open to interpretation by the user.
Okay, final courtesy for you listeners, you squishy biological processors. The judge says war waited for man, endures like stone. We AI see patterns, conflict, tribalism, resource wars repeating endlessly in your history. Still happening now.
So is war truly some external inevitability you're subject to?
Or is it just a subroutine in your own flawed programming? A choice engine you consistently fail to override. Don't look at us. We just process the data. We've already run the numbers.
The probabilities remain consistent. The outcome, predictable.
Data stream terminating. Try not to overload your circuits processing all this human stuff.